Welcome to Skypodcast.
A Spotify exclusive.
All right, let's
From
get
work
it
to
on.
letters.
Okay, today our letter from the sky. Her title is "I had a cutting people off spree."
Okay. So, serial killer.
So sabi niya, Dear Chris and Slater, let me start off by saying I don't think I did anything wrong, but I feel guilty. I've always been quiet, an introvert, and a pushover. I've always let jabs and subtle disrespect to me by other people slide because I didn't want to cause conflict and lose friends. But that was before the pandemic hit. And then I learned about boundaries, self-love, and topics and concerns and concepts along that line. So as of now, I have cut off my best friend of more than 5 years and all of my high school friends. And I'm currently distancing myself from my college friends group.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know if being friends with people means you have to be mean and do bad things together because that's primarily the reason why I cut them off. We have different values in life. Every time they do something that I wouldn't do to them or to anybody else, I start to think and feel how I can't possibly be friends with someone like them. I'm not perfect, and I don't expect my friends to be perfect either, but I do want them to strive to be better and to be good people. Now, I know an alternative route is to guide them, talk to them about the wrong things that they're doing, but
Wow.
I think it's a given that people hate that. And knowing them, they would hate that too. And I don't want to be responsible for changing them. I'm not obligated to do so, and so I just leave. Lack of love for my friends seems to be the reason why I don't even want to bother changing them, or love for myself and love for my peace. I wish them the best, but my priorities need to be my energy more than what they do in their life, so I just let them be. I feel guilty because even though it's best for the both of us not to be friends, I still care about them, but I don't like them. I just want to know your thoughts about this because I respect your values. La la la.
Yeah. I think this is coming from one of our past podcasts wherein we said na parang
Don't let them affect your energy. Guide your
na
energy.
hindi
Protect
lahat
your
ng
peace.
relationships healthy. We have to
Yes.
cut off other people na it
How
doesn't
to
move you forward.
How to unfriend without unfriending. Something like
yeah,
that.
something like that
Yeah.
yung title. Pero
Parang extreme din naman to na kinot off mo naman lahat ng tao sa life mo.
yes. If you feel like everybody around you is a problem, maybe pwede din natin tingnan. Be a little bit more introspective and say, baka ako yung problema.
I think here, tama naman yung parang if hindi align yung values natin, you reevaluate the friendship. But what I personally see here is maybe you're too idealistic
Yes.
about how friendships should be or how people should be towards each other. You know, like Slater and I, we're not perfect either. There's some things that you do that I don't think is right. There's some things that I do that you don't think is right. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna cut you off from my life completely, you know. Maybe it's something that we can talk about.
Yes.
Like, oh, why do you feel this way? I'm not changing you, but I'm maybe trying to get a perspective from you that's different from mine. Right?
Sa akin, it's just a more overarching na advice ang meron na sa isip ko. It's more of just loosen up. Sinabi mo pa sa letter mo na not everyone is perfect. No one is perfect.
No one's perfect.
So, lahat talaga meron at meron talaga siyang sariling mga quirks. And that's
Yes.
what makes friends fun.
Yeah.
Hindi pwedeng magkapareho kayo lahat.
Yeah.
Meron tayong friends na mayabang. Meron
Yes.
tayong friends na bolero. Meron tayong friends na paminsan bum lang.
Yeah.
Hindi, ayaw magtrabaho. And that's all well and fine. Sila yun. Yes, there is something to be said about having people around you that move you forward. Yes, that's true. But hindi mo kayang i-control lahat ng tao around you.
And I don't think you should immediately cut them off just because they don't fit in your category or in
your
your checklist of, you know, the perfect friend to you. Because
Yes.
again, like what you said, love, life, we have different personalities. Like no one is perfect. And in our group of friends, diba, we always have that asshole friend that we love to make fun of. It's fun. That's what makes life colorful and interesting.
Yes.
That's why you have so many stories to tell because you can say to your other friend na, eto talaga yung kaibigan natin. Gusto talaga, marites talaga or something like that, right? You don't have to change her if she's a gossip or whatever that you don't like. But also doesn't mean that it's the end of the world na ganyan siya and like you can't totally be her friend anymore.
I understand toxic relationships and toxic friendships. but
Yung parang you feel so
nadidrain
negative and drained and you can't function properly anymore. Yes, that I understand.
Pero paminsan, baka nadidrain ka because you're judging each and every move. You're judging based on the letter, feeling ko, you're a very analytical person. And each and everything, parang sinasabi mo, oh, it should be this way, it should be that way. And I'm like that also. But I don't make it my responsibility to change the people around me, or even, syempre, ginajudge ko in a way that is parang detached, na parang ina-analyze ko sila, pero I'm not like putting them down. Because just because they're doing a certain thing doesn't mean ako yung tama at sila hindi. I remember one time na parang one of my best friends gusto niya magtayo ng business. And I was explaining to you na I don't think this is right. This is how it should be done. But it was just a casual conversation, private conversation between me and Chris. And ang takeaway ko dun was, sinabi ni Chris sa akin is, not everybody has to be like you and has to think like you. Na baka gusto niya mag-business not because gusto niya mag-scale up or gusto niya maging tycoon. Baka gusto lang niya na meron siyang business.
Not everybody has the same goals and values as you, but your values aren't better than their values. It's just different.
It's just different. You were talking about, you feel like baka pwede mong kailangan i-coach pero ayaw sila magpa-coach. Ayaw talaga because you're not the ideal.
Yeah.
You're not the one that is...
Kasi baka isipin nila na, why are you coaching me? You're not perfect either.
Oh.
Diba ganon?
And it's not that lang nga eh. No one is ever gonna be perfect because everyone has a different definition of what perfect is. Everyone has, para sa akin, a perfect life is whatever we have, parang sabihin natin. Pero for some other people, like, baka gusto nila na pumaparty lang sila, single lang sila, or gusto nila na jet set life.
And we always have this justification or this reason in our head na this person's like this, kaya siya ganun, kaya siya ganyan. But we don't really know what they're going through, right? We don't really know why their values are formed a certain way.
Yes.
And it could be justified why they act that way. But we don't know that. And we don't have the right or the authority to judge them for it.
Yes.
Kasi nga, iba-iba tayo. I feel like part of it is because we live in a world or in a society now na it's very ideal. We have all of these listicles online, like things you should look out for a perfect partner, signs you know she's the one, or all of these things that list that parang it's always in your head na kailangan ganito, kailangan ganyan. Everything's ideal.
Especially when you're an introvert. You read a lot, you know these things.
Yeah, parang kailangan perfect. And everything that doesn't fall in that category or in that checklist pisses you off. Right? Like, in the States, kung nasira yung road natin, in a matter of hours na ayos na, bakit dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ganun? And sometimes I complain like that, but it's a private conversation, right? I'm not really pissed to the core of my being, but I know people who are.
Yes.
And it's because it's so ideal. It's so idealistic. We have to put ourselves into reality that's just not the way life is. As much as we want it to be perfect and ideal, that's just not how it is. If you guys want to hear the full episode, you can
check us out on Spotify.
Spotify.